Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. Haven't really got much of a plan for what I'm going to do in today's video. I've got so many things that I want to get done, but haven't really had an awful lot of chance to spend any time on my Minecraft world over the last day or two. One thing that I have been messing around with a little bit though is installing a shader pack. Now I've always disliked the look of vanilla Minecraft, and I've always tried to make it look better, and that's the reason why I like using the Sphax PureBDcraft texture pack, because I think it makes things look very nice. But I've never really experimented with shader packs before. Now I'm using one at the moment. I'm using the shaders mod, and you just you download the shaders mod and drop it into your mods folder, and then you need to download some shaders. Now I'm using the Zeus Unbelievable Shaders, I think it's called. There's a standard and an ultra version. They are doing a light version soon. It has a lot of impact on performance. I mean, currently I'm running on fancy graphics with the ultra shader, and I'm currently not moving, and I'm only getting about 10 frames per second. I'm not going to do the whole video like this. I just wanted to show you what you can actually make it look like. But just look at the quality of the lighting for a start. How the glow from all of the individual torches works. If we go down stairs a little, that's upstairs. You know, the lighting quality from these shader mods is absolutely fantastic. It does have a few weird effects, like on some of the liquids, and it seems to stop the night vision from working on the night vision goggles as well, on the nano armor. But I mean, if we go outside, just look at the quality of the water. The sun reflects and shines on the water. We can actually look at the sun through the trees. I mean, just look at that. That is absolutely amazing. It just proves that, I mean, Minecraft can look really good. All of the trees, everything's animated. The leaves are actually blowing in the wind. Sometimes the certain bits of grass and flowers and things. But look at that. Look at that sunset. The trees do look a little bit weird, of course, because the textures are just moving, and sometimes you see sort of gaps between the textures. And there's quite a bit of pop-in, as you can see in the distance there. That mountain is still rendering in. So, I mean, I don't have a terrible system. I can't remember the exact specs of the processor and everything off the top of my head. But I'm running 16 gigabytes of decent RAM with an i7 3.4 gigahertz processor and an NVIDIA GeForce 770 GTX graphics card with 2 gig of RAM. So it's not the beastiest machine in the world, but at the same time it's not exactly a lightweight, and it does struggle to run this at a decent frame rate with the shaders on. Just to give you a bit of a better view, let's go up to the sort of top floor. And we can go. It changes some of the glass, which is a little bit weird. Like the carpenter's doors, it changes the glass to blue. But if we go outside here, and of course this is now morning, so it's sort of early sunrise, and you can see the sun coming up. Again, different textures on the dirt blocks from certain directions as the light catches them. The grass also swaying in the wind, as well as the trees. And if we go and have a look down towards the caves, where we've got some lighting down here, as you can see, the torches work incredibly well in these environments. Let's go and just drop another one. I was down here the other night and a creeper blew one up, but just look at the quality of that lighting. I mean, it really, really does look nice. Like I said, there are still a few bugs and issues with things. It doesn't work quite as well as I would like it to, and it does have that impact on performance, which is a little bit nasty. And lava also looks quite impressive using these shader packs as well as the water. If I can get through the door, which is the other problem you have if you have a bit of frame rate lag in Minecraft. It makes things like going through doors really, really difficult. Let's just go down to, where did I want to go to? Let's go down into the sort of basement here. We have a skeleton that wants to die, and he did very quickly. Let's have his XPs. Just a quick look around, make sure there's no creepers or anything. But just look down there, the quality of the water. You can see the lava. The lava's very, very good. There's a... What on earth was that? There's a better view of lava. And you can actually see the lava reflecting in the water below as well. You know, I really, really do love the quality. I just wish all of Minecraft looked like this all of the time. But unfortunately, it does cause a few issues. So one last thing. If the sun's moved around enough to do it, let's just pop back upstairs to the ground floor. And just go and have a look at the water here. One thing I did want to show you, I don't think the sun's low enough, but you can actually get your shadows cast on the water. You can even see the actual shadow of your avatar in the water if the sun is shining in the right direction. But we don't have much in the way of long shadows at the moment, so that isn't really going to work out for us. I think you can maybe just see a bit of shadow there. Which direction is the sun in? The sun's getting blocked out, of course, partially by the house, as it were. Actually, looking underwater is a little bit difficult. If you go into the water, I can't find a deep bit where I can actually submerge. Maybe just here. But it is quite difficult to see through the water in some spots. And now we're underwater, as you can see, it's incredibly murky in places. But the actual quality of the water, and again, it is still using that Sphax PureBDcraft texture. It's just actually putting that effect on the top of it. And I'd run with this all the time if it weren't for the fact that it's absolutely murdering the frame rate. So, there you go. So, sadly, we are going to have to turn that off. So, let's just go into the options. We are going to go into shaders and disable the shaders completely. And then I'm just going to go back into the video settings. Keep the graphics on fancy. I thought I had them on fast. And we turn the clouds back on. And back to the game. All of a sudden, I'm getting 30 frames per second, which is what I've got the cap set to because I'm recording with Fraps at 30 frames per second. I did try and record this with Shadowplay once or twice because I record pretty much everything with Shadowplay now. I used to record stuff with Fraps in the old days. If you've seen any of my old Minecraft videos, they were all recorded with Fraps. But I've recently moved to Shadowplay. Well, I say recently, it's probably been a fair few months now. But it doesn't like Minecraft, and even if I record in desktop mode, it has a tendency to crash the video drivers. So I decided to abandon that idea. And yeah, I mean, sometimes, as nice as it is to have the game looking amazing, you just need the performance. You need to be able to move around, otherwise, what's the point? Let's go ahead and get rid of that bone there. So last video we were doing some stuff with Thaumcraft, and we built this research table. I also went ahead and moved all of the Thaumcraft stuff that I had from upstairs down into the chest down here. Now I went and I built the what's this thing called? The thermometer. And it's quite easy to make. I'm not going to go through it because I don't have the ingredients with me. But basically what you need in the arcane work table, you need a glass block in the middle. And you need a gold bar either side. So I smelted down a couple of gold bars. And then top and bottom, you need one of the shards. It doesn't matter which shards you use. You can use any of them. So I went ahead and used a couple of earth shards because I have more of those than anything else. And what you basically do with this thing is, it's part of the research, if you don't know the way that Thaumcraft works. You've got all of these things in the Thaumonomicon that you can basically make if you can research them. As you can see, a lot of these things say missing research required. This one needs scribing tools and paper to get the research notes, get the goggles of revealing. But there's quite a lot of stuff that actually needs research. And in order to research, you use this thing, the research table. Now, the research table is littered with these things here, and these are the various different aspects that you can find around the world. You've got the basic ones, such as air, water, fire, earth, and I think there's a couple more as well. Entropy and what's the other one? The opposite of entropy, order. So I think they're the 5 main ones, but then you can mix them together to make other stuff. Like, for example, air and fire, if you mix them together, become lux. And I don't know if you've ever played it, but there's a game that's available on mobile devices. I know it's been on iOS for some time. It might even be on Android. I don't know. I'm not an Android user. And I've even seen it on the PlayStation Network recently for the Vita as well. But there's a game called Doodle God. And it's very much the same thing. You start off with a few basic elements and you have to mix them together to try and make more complex elements. So, for example, I might take an earth and I might take a water and go, well, what happens if I try and mix the two together? Nothing really. It just puts some more points into Victor. So obviously I've already found it there. So earth and water make life, basically. So okay. So what about if I take life and I take water and mix them together? There we go. That gives me something new. That gives me limus, which is slime or sticky. So what then happens if I take slime and mix it with fire? Didn't really give me anything. What about if I take slime and mix it with air? Didn't give me anything either. Now I'm running out of slime. What if I take slime and mix it with order? Doesn't give me anything. Now I'm out of slime. I need more slime to continue. So let's go ahead and I can't even remember how I made it in the first place. Was it life and earth? Life and earth. Oh, that's actually given me plants. So now I can study plants. Was it life and water? Yeah, life and water gives me slime. So I can spend some of them to make others and try and find things that I can mix with them. What about if I took slime and mixed it with earth, for example? Didn't get me anything there. Slime and weather, possibly? Still nothing. So it is a little bit of hit and miss. Of course, there are wikis out there that you can go across and find. This one might be interesting. What about if I take life and water and make a slime, and then I take slime and mix it with energy? What does that give me? Nothing at all. What about life and energy? That doesn't give me anything. Earth and energy? Nope, still nothing. Plants and energy. So sometimes there's a little bit of hit and miss trying to find things that work together. Energy and crystal. That didn't give me anything either. Metal and crystal. Nope, still nothing. Metal and fire. Nothing. Metal and air. No. Metal and water. No. Metal and order. Metal and entropy. So it's difficult to actually find things that mix up. You've got poison and plant. Makes nothing. Poison and water. Yeah, so I'm just basically guessing at stuff here. What about if I put metal and exchange? Nothing. So it is a little bit of guesswork, but you take this thermometer, and as you can see, I researched cobblestone, and cobblestone gave me 1 earth and 1 whatever that other symbol is there. I think that's possibly entropy. Torches gave me 1 lux. And different materials give you different things. I haven't researched the ladder. Let's try that. I just hold down the right mouse button, and there we go. That's actually given me 3 research points for arbor. That's one that I didn't have previously. I don't think so, which is tree and wood. Now, I couldn't research that before, and the reason I couldn't research it before is because I hadn't found plants, and you needed that to research living things. If we just go back up to the surface, hopefully it's still daylight, there might be 1 or 2 things that I can still discover that I haven't tried yet. Because I did try using it on the trees. A lot of things that I have already discovered, dirt and gravel, rubber wood. Let's try that now. Yeah, to understand this, you need to study man. So I can't understand the rubber tree yet. What about the oak wood? There we go. I've gained 4 more research points for arbor. So they are stuff, those are things that I can now use in the research table. Let's not fall down there, I nearly did. Let's try the lavender. Nothing can be learned from this. What about the grass block? There we go. So we've learnt something from that. What about the grass itself? So they've got some terra and herba and some air as well. A couple of different tree types up here. Can we get anything from these trees? Yeah, there we go. Got some more arbor. So the idea is you're supposed to upgrade this thing into the arcane goggles so that you can actually wear them sort of all the time, as opposed to having an item that you have to go around and click on things with. But we're lacking the research for that. We've got gravel, we've got water and things like that. What about some of these plants over here? Mystical red flower. Nothing can be learned from this. So sometimes you get things where you can't learn anything, and I think that's mainly because it's like it's an incompatible mod. It's an item that isn't included in Thaumcraft. Marble, possibly. Nothing can be learned from this. What about the glass? There we go. We've got vitreous from the glass. It's getting a little bit dark here, but I did realise I don't think I did the sand or the reeds. So, sand. There we go. We've got 1 earth and 1 perdito. And what about the sugar canes? There we go. We've got 1 air, 1 acra, and 1 herba. Bit of a... You can actually see through water as well, which is quite useful with this thing. What about the squid? To understand this, I need to study things that move. So as you can see, there are a few things that I can't actually do yet. I've gone around and done most of the basic blocks that I could find, including some of the ores and stuff. So we've got quite a few things that we can work on. So if we go back downstairs, I would like to... I should have just kept the Thaumcraft in my hand. What I would like to do at some point, and I was going through all this basic information here that does teach you about a few things. You need scribing tools and paper to get this research note. Well, we do have a fair bit of paper. It tells me about the aspects, and it tells me about warp, flux, and all things that are bad. So you've got to be a little bit careful on how much magic you dump into the cauldron and leave it to sizzle away. Let's go ahead and just see if we can grab some paper, actually. We should still have some upstairs in the press, because I know I didn't use all of it. I actually took it out of the press, so it's probably in here. There it is. Let's go and drop that into the research table. So we still have the scribing tools, even though they were consumed. They're actually there, so it does use some as time goes on. It's not actually that type of paper, is it? It's actually some sort of research paper. It might be it's a different type, and I'm not sure how we get it. Let's just have a look. Tinker's Construct, paper. I've done it before as well, and now I can't remember how to do it, which is really, really bad. What does go there? Must tell me in the Thaumcraft. You are the master of everything. Knowledge fragments, we don't know. Research, thermometer. This is a bit I've already sort of worked through. This is how we build the thermometer, which we've already done. So we already know how to build the crafting tools. We've already got those in there, so that's fine. Artifice. Oh, I think that's just where knowledge fragments go. So it says, what do I need for this? We need scribing tools and paper. Okay, well, these are scribing tools, aren't they? And we do have paper. So click to get a research note for this. Ah, there we go. So now we have the research note. So if we go back to Artifice and we click that, we should get a research note for it. So let's now go back into here. And we have the research notes of Goggles of Revealing. So if we put that in there, you have run out of ink, refill your scribing tools. Ah, I just don't have it in there. So we have to sort of guess what these icons are in order to get the Goggles of Revealing, or the Goggles of the Unseen. We don't know what they're going to be. I think we can sort of drag them and drop them. Not entirely sure how it works. That is something that I'll have to look up on. We've got the same thing here, of course. We've got this one. This is the which one was this for? Knowledge is power. Goggles of Revealing, seeing the unseen. Research expertise. So yeah, we have to try and work out what some of these are. And maybe there are some that I've not found yet, but we'll keep the research notes in here as well. At least now I know how to get the research notes. So that's not too bad. Were there any other things in the Thaumcraft there that I could have easily got? I guess it's all the ones that are just flashing technically. Don't have the required aspects to purchase this, so it does require some aspects in order to get some of these things. Scribing tools, here we go. Scribing tools and paper, scribing tools and paper. So let's just grab the scribing tools again. I've still got the paper in my inventory. So we can research that. And this. Magic tallow. Magic metallurgy. And don't have the required aspects to purchase some of these things. Thaumatic tinkering. Missing research required. So there's quite a few. As you can see, the tree is quite extensive for the things that you can actually learn here. So blood scrivener's tools and crystal scribing tools, Umbra Rose. Lots of interesting stuff here. Lord of Hellfire. Never get stranded again. Click to get a research note for this research, you know. So there's some interesting stuff in there. Let's just put the stuff back in the crafting table. Where was that Hellfire one? Lord of Hellfire. So obviously one's going to be fire, We don't know what the other two are going to be. So maybe we've got to find a few more things before we can work that out. But it's going to be interesting, learning what all of this stuff does. So for the meantime, let's go ahead and just put all of these research notes back into here. And we're going to have to do a little bit more exploration before we can do anything else. We'll just go ahead and... I don't think there's any other block type. I've gone through most of the things that that were around. Some things you can't actually click on, of course. But I do think that I went round and clicked on most stuff. We couldn't get anything from the marble. Probably can't get anything from the elevator either. Oh no, we need to understand tools to study that. What about seared bricks? I don't think I've got any obsidian around, sadly. If I'd have had some obsidian, we could have done that. I've probably got a block or two, in fact. I think I had some spare. I haven't got the slightest clue where it's going to be. We've got sand. And what if we take something like scaffolding, for example? There we go. We've got an obsidian block. Let's try that. What's burning? I keep thinking luggage is on fire. I think it's just the lava that we can hear. It's quite strange. So let's put the obsidian block down. Let's put the scaffolding block down. Let's take the thermometer. So nothing can be learned from scaffold. What about obsidian? There we go. Look, we got a lot of stuff from that, didn't we? We've discovered tenebrae, 2 points in ignis, 2 points in terror. So that's quite cool. Obviously, I need to get my diamond pick now to break that flipping thing so I can put it back where it belongs. And look how long it takes, even with a diamond pick. It just takes forever. This is why I hate sort of farming for obsidian. It's easy enough to find. All you need is a bucket of water and a pool of lava, and God knows there's loads of those around, but the length of time it actually takes to dig it up. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, because I have the sound on, the in-game sound very low constantly. But there's a very constant, repetitive tis sound every few seconds, which I can only assume is... Actually sounds like it's coming from the smeltery. Maybe it is coming from downstairs. Yep, it's because luggage is in the cauldron. Luggage, what are you doing? There we go, he's out of there now. And it's no longer making the sound. It's very strange that he ends up in there. I don't know what he was thinking of. What are we like for time? Well, we're past the 20-minute mark. So I'll probably wrap up, because like I said, I didn't really have a focus for this video, so sorry about that. One thing that I definitely will need to do is get the multi-farm finished. And, oh look, there's a wither cat. I hate these things. Oh, I've actually left my nano saber on, which is... I keep forgetting that. Let's go and kill this wither cat, because they're a complete and utter pain. So that's the wither cat killed. I need to go and charge the nano saber up. That's the one thing with the nano saber. You have to remember that you have to turn it off. If you forget, it runs out of power. Now, you can still do damage with it when it's out of power. It'll work like a normal sword. But it won't do an awful lot of damage. I think it does about the same amount of damage as a steel sword, possibly. If you're using it without any juice on. And most of our armor's absolutely fine. I've had another couple of run-ins with those, what are they called? Those Eldritch Guardians that are around the obelisk. And I don't mind running into them too much. The good thing is I can actually farm them for Thaumcraft materials. Now, from what I've read, and I still don't completely understand the way it works, what you're supposed to do is you need to either use the thermometer or the goggles or something and look at those that obsidian pillar, and it allows you to see 4 different markings on the ground, and then if you place the right objects on those markings, the pillar disappears and it leaves a sort of a big hole down towards the bedrock that you can descend down, and you find a room that has lots of goodies in. So that's something that we need to work towards, because you can't actually get rid of the obelisk otherwise. Yeah, if I turn this on, yeah, plus 20 attack damage when it's turned on, plus 4 attack damage when it's turned off. And if we look at an iron sword is plus 6 attack damage. Maybe it's like a stone sword then. Stone sword is +5. Oh, it's not even as good as a stone one. What about a wooden sword? +4. Okay, so you can use the nano saber without the power on, and it's the equivalent of a wooden sword. But it's more than fine for killing, you know, sheep and pigs and stuff that doesn't really attack back. So that's not too much of an issue. This thing is supposed to let you see the nodes more easily as well, although it does seem a little bit hit and miss whether or not that actually works all that well. I think it's more of... the goggles are probably going to be better for that. Certain things you can't click on, because if you try and like right-click on things like the crafting station or the chest, it just interacts with them. So you can't go around and use it to click on every sort of object. I was just going to go up to where we'd got the wood. Have we got the wooden steps with it? Pine wood stairs. Haven't done that. There we go. Got some more points for arbor. Carpenter's door. We haven't got the pine wood either. There we go. There's some more arbor. Fence. Can't interact with the fence directly. Just have a little run over here, see if there's anything new. Probably a lot of different plants and stuff that we can go and have a look at. But some of them will give us things and some of them won't. Anything from the mystical pink flower? No, nothing can be learned from it. What about if we go and have a look at the bog earth? Yeah, we can get some stuff from the bog earth. I like how the water just disappears completely when you look through this thing. You just cannot see water. Not sure whether that's a shader issue or what, but that's quite strange. What about some of the other plants and things? Potato seeds. Nothing can be learned from this. Probably not going to work with the stuff from Pam's Harvest Craft. It might not be included, but things that are... Oh, we've just gone and broke all of the wheat. But we can't learn from the wheat. Shouldn't really be harvesting stuff over the fence. This is the thing with some of these plants. Some of these plants can actually be harvested. And some of them you actually need to break. I'm just going over here to grab the wheat that I broke off. Sounds like Luggage is picking some of it up as well. And yeah, that's about it. This fence I really need to make better. I'm sure there are better versions of fencing that we can use. Just want to go and try it on... there was a sheep over there. And maybe we haven't studied things that move yet. Maybe we can't actually get this to work on the sheep. But if we try it on the sheep... Yeah, you need to study things that move in order to understand it. So we've got a foundation. We've got somewhere to start from. You can actually see the extra floor that I've built now onto the house as well. Like I said, not really used anything in it, but it is getting higher. So we are. Let's just sprint because it'd be slightly easier. Or slightly quicker, not necessarily easier. And as you can see, it is starting to work its way now out of the top of the mountain. So where it was almost completely buried, it's now working its way out. So the couple of things that I'm going to get done in the next few videos, because I am still learning Thaumcraft, and I'm probably not going to do a lot of that on screen because it will get a little bit tedious. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the multi-farm built. I've decided I'm going to build the one that's 4x4. So it'll be 4x4x4, which is 64 farm blocks we'll need. Less one controller, one gearbox, one hatch, and one... what's the other thing? Controller, gearbox, hash, and valve. There we go. I probably won't automate it just yet. I don't see any point because I've always used automation on the side of BuildCraft. And I think I'd like to explore something like Ender.io, learn one of the other ways of automating it up. There's Luggage, that's what I wanted. Wow, Luggage has a lot of stuff. So I can get all of that stuff automated. But when I've got a better understanding of Ender.io and things. And I want to try and build a jetpack as well. A few of you have recommended trying to build a jetpack. I don't know why I've got that orberry bush. You can't plant the orberry bushes. At least I don't think you can. I've not found a way of being able to replant them. Maybe there is a way. I just don't know how to do it. And let's put these things where they belong. Getting all confused now. But yeah, a few people have said that building a jetpack in conjunction with the... hang glider is a really, really useful thing to do because it gives you much more sort of maneuverability. So that is something that I'd like to give a crack at. Got so much stuff here now. I actually went mining down through the little sort of hole that we'd made down through the basement. I went mining through there, and obviously, you know, we've ended up with a lot of junk from that. Did we have one of these for gravel? I don't think that we do. We've got an egg that we can break. I know if I break inside we'll end up with a chicken, so I'll just break it outside. And I've got a little bit of XP we can get rid of. And we can just go down to the sub-basement. Hopefully luggage doesn't get stuck in the cauldron again. And we'll just pop those in there, and that's it. We are done. We'll put the thermometer back on the shelf for now until we come back and do a little bit more Thaumcraft. And, yeah, I'll see what I can get done in the meantime towards getting that multi-farm started. I might just go ahead and build the parts, and then we'll come back another day and we'll actually put the entire thing together. But I think for now, we've actually got some good progress when luggage isn't in the cauldron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity. I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.